know the story of Benaisha Kharas, who's a master image consultant and a TEDx speaker, a personal coach, and you'll know a lot more from her itself.
Thank you. I'm good. How are you doing?
Great. I would like to know about you, your story. How have you come to this stage of being a master image consultant? How did you start with it?
Okay. So, firstly, having me here, thank you very much. And the start of my journey started 11 years ago, almost 11 years ago. And I was 19 when I decided to be an image consultant and take this path. And at the same time around, same year actually, I was doing my last year of my graduation, my double graduation. And my mom kind of said to me that, she came across this career path in the newspaper. There was an upcoming career, and she said, this is something that will really do good for you because it's of your interest and your passion. And it's also something that you enjoy doing. And I looked into it, I thought, yes, why not? And it was aligning with the subjects that I was studying, which is sociology and psychology. And I realized that the blend between appearance and attitude is something that I personally needed in my life while growing up. And I was a very shy kid. Not very shy, but I was a shy kid. And I wanted to get up there, but I just didn't know how to. I wanted to look amazing, but I just didn't know how to. And I just wanted to, be in that space. But I didn't know what to do and how to go about with it. So image management really got me up there to understand the art and science of appearance, understand the need for it, understand what it truly meant. And psychology and psychotherapy taught me about how to balance it all into having a wonderful appearance with a wonderful attitude. So that's how my story started. Being a young child, it was really difficult in regards to standing out. But growing up slowly and steadily with all these tools, I understood and learned, and then I had to practice, of course, standing out in a good way.
Okay, so you must have come across a lot of struggle, obstacles. Like, how did you start with it? Like, what was your first workshop you did, or your first training basically? Which training you did for the first time?
So my obstacles have been quite a few, because it started off first with me being young and my age being young. So people were like, but it's so young that you're starting off, who will take you seriously, and why will anyone take you seriously? And what experience do you have? And people come with 19 years of experience and you are 19, and all those thoughts. Again, no one in my family obviously was an image consultant before. There were a bunch of those that first started off. So, to work on that, I actually started working with the low socioeconomic sections in society. So I started working in slum areas, I started working with NGOs, I started working with rehab centers. I was not only focusing on appearance, I was focusing also on attitude, body language.
That was 3 sessions?
Yes, those were pro bono sessions. Those were my way of building myself up and building others up too. So that's something that I started off with. Then I moved on to actually doing workshops in the corporate sector, which I actually hadn't planned at all because I did not want to get into that space then. But I worked for prominent companies and prominent brands, and I continue to do so till today, and that's great. So the obstacles that I usually by and large faced were to do with my age and experience. And it also had to do with the way I looked back then. And by that I mean I today look slightly more mature, I think, than I did. But I had a baby face. I mean, this is me. So a petite frame just kind of made me look like a schoolgirl or whatever it was.
Yeah, you still look like this.
Thank you, but I don't know. And in some cases, it wasn't a compliment, you know. And that kind of made me not really realize that should I be happy about looking younger or should I be sad that I don't look mature. But nonetheless, I used my clothing as a tool to kind of help me to be age appropriate, at the same time look appropriate for the role that I was going to play as a trainer, as a consultant. And the other obstacles that came by were, of course, everything was very new, so there was no one to really look up to in this field.
So how did, like you're married now,
Yes.
so did marriage impact what you were doing?
No, actually. If I could say marriage impacted me in a good way, because now at least when I do marriage counseling, people take me seriously. Before they used to, it used to take like, half an hour into the session, फिर लोग सोचते हैं हाँ ठीक है, okay, like otherwise people were like, अच्छा you're not married, what do you know? No, it didn't impact me in any kind of negative connotation at all. In fact, it's been quite wonderful and beautiful. I've been with the same man for 14 years of my life, so that helps, I guess.
Was it a love marriage?
It was a love marriage, very much so. And yeah, so we actually have been high school lovers, and we've been together since we were 16. So it's been a beautiful journey personally as well. And he's actually seen my entire journey of before being an image consultant and being one. And it's not just him, even my in-laws, they truly, they speak very proudly of my work and they're very supportive. In fact, my mother-in-law back in the day, who was an auntie to me because obviously my boyfriend's mother back then, very, very encouraging to promote my work and help me get other work as well through references and friends. So it's been a very positive impact, I would say. Yeah.
So your daughter-in-law of Anita Dongre.
Yeah.
So how does that impact to your work?
Like I said, it impacts in a good way because Anita Dongre herself is a very very inspirational woman, and has always been to me even before she became my mother-in-law. She's been a woman of substance and character to bring about that spark of true entrepreneurship. She herself had her own obstacles in this patriarchal world, and that's been quite an inspiration to see and learn. If you're asking me, it feels like a wonderful relationship that I have with my mother-in-law. She's liberal, she's thought-provoking, and she's motivating to
And
to
she's
do.
herself an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So that she must be more understanding in that terms.
Yes, absolutely. She's very understanding, and like I said, she's very encouraging that I do bigger and better. So yeah, that's really truly been my good fortune on that. So yes, my mother-in-law and my mom both. So my mom too has been a working woman, and actually I'm surrounded from my grandmothers to my mothers now.
All working?
All working.
Oh, wow.
Everyone. My grandmother was working till she was the age of 80. So, which is just, been incredible. I've seen her work my entire life. So, and likewise, my mom and my mom-in-law too. Yeah.
Earlier in your workshop, I've heard you saying that your childhood was a bit challenging. So can you throw some light on that?
So, my childhood was challenging because of having learning disabilities. I'm dyslexic, dyscalculus, and ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperdisorder. And those were those were challenging while growing up because they come in the way of your education, your spellings, your math, and your concentration. So in that direction, it became quite challenging for my parents also. And it spiraled down into a lot of other issues that I landed up having, because it was more about lack of confidence, lack of self-love. I didn't even know what self-love meant, you know. I didn't know aisa kuch hota hai ki you have to talk to yourself well or anything like that. So it was a constant nag and a constant criticism by myself in my own head. And that really got very difficult for me because it happened for many years. I constantly used to be like, oh, because I failed, so I'm not good at it. I didn't pass this subject, so I'm really bad. And I just went on from becoming a bad student, I landed up feeling like a bad child to my parents. And it was nice that my parents at that given time supported me to make me understand. My mom used to really sit me down and she used to be like, no, you're not a bad person. You're just bad at maths, or you're just bad at science, or whatever subject that was there that time. And there is a difference between you being bad and you being bad at something. So I think that was a great learning for me, and from there on I of course had wonderful teachers in my latter half of my educational time, wherein I had lots of counselors and remedial teachers, and which is why later on I decided to be a counselor myself because of all of this. So I think all those challenges is what got me to a point wherein today I decided to get into this profession that I am in today. In this profession, I feel like I needed to learn image management for myself, and I needed to rectify my own image, and I needed to work towards my own self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. I needed to work on my own appearance at that time, my communication skills, my body language, my time management, my stress management, and a whole lot to manage myself better. So I literally worked on my own image, and it all came down because the younger Benaisha really needed it. So yeah.
So just for everyone to know, because many might be facing this problem, but many cannot say it also. So does counseling help in this case?
Yes,
Okay.
it does help. You're actually, today it's so fun, because life comes in full circle. There was a time when I used to go for counseling, and today people come to me for counseling for the very same reasons. And it's really nice because back in the day, counseling was a very different format, because I used to go to counselors who were way older than me and who kind of looked at it also very structurally. I found my mom to be my best counselor because she spoke to me very openly and as a friend and heard me out and brought empathy to the table. And that's something that I take on today in my counseling. I don't look at it like, okay, in college, in school, in counseling centers, you're taught a format. While yes, you have to go through a format, but you can customize it to yourself. You can, make it more warm. And today, I would say all my clients leave with this feeling of feeling respected and loved and heard. And that's something that I'm really proud of, that I've worked on myself, and it reflects in your work today. And it doesn't come easy, because there are days wherein I also have nothing to offer to my clients, and I tell them, listen, I need a personal day break because I can't do justice to you, so I won't take them up on that day. So counseling definitely does help, and that's the reason why I became a counselor.
Yeah, right. So would you like to share what is success to you?
Sure. So success to me is the ability to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. That's success for me. It's not about money, it's not about fame. It's more about peace, and it's more about happiness. I quantify and qualify the moments that are successful to me, which bring me joy or peace of mind. When I go to sleep not thinking about the day, that has been a successful day. There are moments where you say that, oh, but you should think about your day. I don't want to think about my day because I went through my day. I just want to feel my day, and that feeling I want to be is, good day. That's it. I don't mean like, oh, this happened, that happened, that happened, this happened, so it's a good day. Because when we do an addition, we always need an outcome. But when we don't do math, it's just liberal art. It's just easy, because that for me is success. I know it sounds very mystical and magic, but I really look at it like this. It's not, I'm not faking it. I actually look at success like this. Like today, success is, we had a workshop, like it was a great workshop. So the success to me was, I found it successful when people came up to me saying, this was my aha moment and you made me think like this and this is what I'm going to do now and that was a funny joke and it was so nice. That to me is success because they're all emotions. They're all emotions which came through like good moments. So that's it. It's not about anything else. It's usually never about that, at least for me. So that's my success.
I have personally done 2 workshops from her. She is mind-blowing, no doubt. Would you like to share some of your experiences and few tips?
Alright, so I think the tips here would be, your images, you in the eyes and minds of people. It is when people look at you, your state of mind gets reflected. Like today, not only through the way I'm dressed, but the way I'm speaking to you, or my body language, or the choice of words. It, I'm sure, denotes that I'm comfortable, it's easygoing, it's a conversational chat. So, when someone looks at you, your appearance should be in place, your body language should be graceful, could be graceful, would be nice if it was. Your communication should be mindful, that you're not hurting anyone. So that I feel is the ABCD, the basics of image. But I also would like to incorporate the 4 A's, which I think are also very important, such as being appropriate, being authentic, being attractive, and then of course all of this to be affordable. Because you can't invest in clothing or anything, even behavior, mannerisms, anything that is too expensive monetarily. Yes, so everything has to be doable, everything has to be feasible. And that's important. So image is everyone has this wrong notion about image being just for the rich and fancy, image being all about only dressing up in like suits, or image is all about makeup and hair. It's only about all of that.
And personality too, right?
Yes, it's a lot to do with everything on the inside as well. How are you thinking? How are you speaking? What is your inner dialogue, your inner communication? That reflects in your outer communication as well. So it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling great. And that really helps you, because the way you look affects the way you think, and the way you think affects the way you feel, the way you feel affects the way you act, and your actions then get you responses or reactions from people. So it's a whole cycle. It starts with an appearance and then moves on into a lot of other things. So yeah.
Okay, one last question. One aha moment of yours in your language.
So one aha moment of mine. I've had actually quite a few aha moments, because when clients come to me with some feedback or this happened, but my recent few aha moments, I would say, is when a client has come back, and I've worked with this client for 3 years now. There are many such clients that are a longer duration, and some of them are a shorter duration, and they don't only come for image, they also come in for counseling and therapy. And so with this client, she was going through a divorce. It was an ugly divorce, and then after the divorce, it was about how to get back on her feet, and then it was about getting married again. And it all happened in 3 years with me. So it was amazing, because we started off with, Benaisha, I don't know where my life is going, and I don't want to live anymore. And then it went on to, okay, Benaisha, I feel something can happen. and then I went over to Benaisha, I just got engaged. So I think this and many of these have been wonderful aha moments for me, because I've had the privilege, the joy and the pain to go through these with my clients. They come as clients and they leave as friends, and that's something that I am very fortunate to have in my profession. I make a lot of my friends are from my clients. I don't make my friends my clients. But I think those are my aha moments. I'm sorry, I know you wanted me to pick one, but I think that's personally then the day I got married is my aha moment.
Well, we are fortunate enough to have your success story with us, your story of struggle too. And we would like to know more further too, but right now we'll sign off. Thank you so much.